Many people will associate a home carer working with older people. Nowadays, the job of a home carer is much broader, and as a result of this expansion, a home carer will work with a variety of service users, all of whom may have very different needs. The aim of this video is to consider the needs of the various service users for whom a home carer may provide a service. But let's first think about who is a service user. Words come in and out of fashion, and if you have worked in home care for a long time, you may previously have heard a variety of terms used for the people you work with, like client, patient or purchaser. In this video, we shall be using the term service user to refer to someone who receives a service from a domiciliary care agency. A home carer might provide a service to any number of different people, both young and old. A home carer might be working with children, families, adults. That is, anyone who has a need to be met. Because a home carer could work across age groups, service users will be presenting a spectrum of needs. Within agencies, service users are often categorized by service user groups. The main divide will be between, firstly, children and families, and secondly, adults. Both children and adults could have a physical disability, sensory disability, learning disability, mental health problems. A home carer needs to have some basic knowledge about the various service user groups and the related specialisms, but different needs will develop for the individual service user. All sorts of needs can be developed from conditions and situations. A key point, which will be emphasized throughout this video, is that if a home carer does not know something, then it's important to seek out knowledge. There's nothing wrong with admitting you don't know something. A home carer should always ask a line manager if they're unsure about anything at all. This can be done privately, in a supervision session, or a manager should be approachable at most times. A service user may experience any number of problems which creates a need or multiple needs, some of which a home carer may never have given a great deal of thought to or know little about. For example, a young child having a mental health problem or being terminally ill, an adult with learning disabilities, or an older person being abused. So first, we must consider what is need. When the NHS and Community Care Act was introduced, need was defined as the requirements of individuals to enable them to achieve, maintain or restore an acceptable level of social independence or quality of life as defined by the particular agency or authority. Needs were then categorised as personal and social care, health care, accommodation, finance, education, employment and leisure, transport and access. In order to identify need, and before a home care service can be provided, an assessment of the service user must be undertaken, preferably in their own home. A service user could be assessed by many different people depending on their situation and difficulties. Some service users may be discharged from hospital and will have been assessed by an occupational therapist. This happened to Mrs. Uden, who suffered a stroke. She was determined to return home and now receives home care on a daily basis. Before he was run over by a car and became physically disabled, Jed was already known to the psychiatric services because he has schizophrenia. A community psychiatric nurse visits him regularly to make sure he takes his medication. Other service users will be referred for a service whilst living at home, like Sam, who is blind. In the National Minimum Standards for Domiciliary Care, which came into force in April 2003, it stated that the skills and experience of care staff are matched to the care needs of each service user, and they are able to communicate effectively with the service user using the individual's preferred method of communication. It's important to understand that a child might be assessed under different legislation, namely the Children Act 1989. One of the fundamental principles underpinning the Children Act is to safeguard and promote the welfare of children. Safeguarding has two elements: a duty to protect children from maltreatment, a duty to prevent impairment. Promoting welfare involves creating opportunities to enable children to have optimum life chances in adulthood, as well as ensuring they are growing up in circumstances consistent with the provision of safe and effective care. A child who is defined as in need under the Children Act is said to be unlikely to reach or maintain a satisfactory level of health and development, or their health and development will be significantly impaired without the provision of services. It's important for a home carer to have some basic knowledge about the Children Act, but also about the development of children in order to provide the appropriate support. Development will include physical, intellectual, emotional, social or behavioural development. Like adults, children may present many different needs. Because we've been talking about the Children Act, some of you watching this video may be thinking about abused children. But some children may have needs because they are physically disabled, have learning disabilities, a mental health problem, or they are terminally ill. A good starting point, whether talking about children or adults, is to think about both physical and emotional needs. But a home carer must remember that needs go far beyond this and can be very complex. The role of a home carer is to provide personal care and support to a service user. It's crucial that a home carer takes time to get to know a service user in order to work with them effectively. Needs rarely remain the same because situations change. Some will improve, others will deteriorate. One of the key responsibilities of a home carer will be to monitor situations whilst they're providing a service and report any changes so that the care plan can be adjusted.